Hi, and back again with another video on removing mould from showers and silicone sealant. This one's slightly different to the previous one where I was testing a couple of different bleaches versus white vinegar. Based on some of the comments that I received, I just thought I would try some other products. One of the comments mentioned flash spray and giving that a go for about sort of 10 minutes. Another comment mentioned a spray, but they didn't actually say what the spray was, and they used that only for like 3 minutes. And I did ask if they could mention the product, but I didn't find out what it was. So I did a little bit of research. The kind of best product I could find, or the one with the most positive comments and reviews, was this HG mold remover. Curious just to see if anything can save a bit of time or if there's something that works quicker. Just for my own curiosity, I've got some chlorine granules that we use to keep paddling pool clean in the summer. I thought I'd try mixing a weak solution, a 5% solution of chlorine granules, just to see how that one performs. So for the flash spray, there are a few different brands available from supermarkets. I had a look around and I was looking for the active ingredient and the one that had the highest content, which is down here. So this is 0.5, whereas other products in the flash range were 0.1, so I picked the one with the highest active ingredient. This contains here chlorine-based bleaching agents, and then the last one is just chlorine granules. So these are 75% calcium hypochlorite. Right, I'm just going to mix this solution for a couple of these. It should be about 5 ml. And then we're just going to add 100 ml of water. Leave it a minute or two to dissolve whilst we apply the other products. Flash spray didn't really have any particular directions on it other than just giving a clean. The comment that I'd read said they left it for about 10 minutes. I'm not quite sure how aggressive the black mold is in other situations, so I'm going to give probably a check back after 10 minutes, 30 minutes, and then a further hour just to see how each one does. The HG mold remover does say to leave for 30 minutes. And then to reapply for a further 30 minutes if it needs it. This is the mold we have. As you can see, it's pretty thick and black, so it might be a bit more, might be a bit worse than perhaps other situations. And then I'm just going to roughly work on about a third for each product. So let's get started. Flash spray. Okay, so we've done flash spray. Moving on to the HG mold remover. This one I believe is a foam. And again, if you've seen the other video, I had used some toilet tissue to keep the mold in contact with the solution or the product. Don't need to do that for this one, the foam should stay in place there. So that brings us to the last one, which I am going to use with a bit of scrunched up toilet tissue. Just a couple of, I suppose, sensible safety things to note. Wearing plastic or protective gloves, and then going to make sure that the windows are open in the room just to allow some ventilation from quite strong chlorine smells. Just going to spoon this on. Okay, so that's roughly a third each. Flash HG crystals. Time is now 8 minutes past 2, So I'm going to leave this for about 10 minutes, come back and then see how it's looking, and then again in 30 minutes, and then probably a further hour. Okay, so we're back a little bit over 10 minutes, but just to see initial reactions. So it does look like the flash spray has had some effect. So you can see just up the top over here, it's starting to kill off actually some of the mould, although fairly black at the bottom still. Bit of a gap to the next one, HG mould remover, and quite a big improvement after just 10 minutes on that one. And the last one, just going to peel back some of this, and you can see a bit of staining on the toilet paper itself and some of the mould getting killed off. So all working to varying degrees. What I'm actually going to do, I'm going to give it another 20 minutes. Okay, we're back just a minute after half an hour from the first application. The flash hasn't changed significantly. The HG mould remover is still looking pretty good, and let's have a look under here. Yeah, it's looking kind of similar to the mould remover. So what I'm going to do, just take out these products, give it a bit of a rinse down. The directions on the HG mould remover just said to wipe down after half an hour and then reapply it if necessary. To be fair, it was pretty thick black mould, so I'm not too surprised. Let me do that now, and we'll try reapplying and see how it goes in another half an hour and how long it takes to actually get rid of all the stuff. So actually, with the flash one here, it's definitely not as good as the HG in terms of just purely like seem to killing off the mould, but as actually all of the stuff is coming away after a bit of a wipe down. Okay, I'm just gonna reapply some of these now, and then let's see after probably another 30 minutes if that comes back to nice clear white. Actually, with the flash, what I might do, just to be fair with the test of the other products, is put some of the toilet tissue there for the sole purpose of just holding the solution against the black mould so that it doesn't just run off into the shower tray, which is quite possibly what happened before. .2:45. So we'll be back in another half hour. Okay, we're back just over half an hour, and let's have a look, see how we're getting on. So the HG mould remover is looking pretty good in this area now that we've sort of treated properly a couple of times. Let's see what the flash spray is doing. I mean, it's definitely not as good, you can clearly see that, but it has had some impact for sure. That is our chlorine solution. Again, pretty good. There's still just some slight traces here, which I suspect will go with another application. Just going to give it a quick rinse. Okay, there's still a little bits coming off here. So I'm not particularly sure that the flash spray is actually going to do any much more than it has now, but I guess we'll keep trying. I'm going to apply more of the HG, just see if we can get it completely white, get rid of that last little spot. Again, same with the chlorine solution. See if we can get rid of those just last little bits of brown staining. Get it back to completely plain white. And we'll do the same again with the flash spray. We'll see if we can get anywhere with that one. Okay, there we go. Put these here and pull it back. So we're actually back after an hour just to see how these things are getting along. And still just a tiny little bit left there on the HG mould remover. So apart from that, it's pretty clear. I think the flash one is getting clearer just very slowly. And then let's have a look on this one. It's pretty clear as well at this stage. Maybe like a tiny little bit of slightly brown staining just around here, but for the most part it's quite clear. That's with our chlorine solution. I'm probably not going to do any more from this point. The flash one, I think I could be taking quite a long time to see before that actually removes the whole lot. So that's it. In summary, I would say have a look at the contents of the product you're using. Anything with I suppose like a high chlorine based fungicidal content seems to be the way to go when it comes to this. So the bleach test previously, the chlorine based bleach hands down was like a better product. I'm not quite sure exactly what's in here, but it certainly said it was a chlorine based ingredient and component, and the chlorine granules from that we use for paddling pool kind of maintenance do the trick. As regards to the amount of time, a little bit of trial and error. I suppose it's going to depend on how heavy or not your staining is with the bleach. Is it like really thick black? Is it just some like starting of light spotting? I'd say for the flash spray, perhaps as part of a ongoing, like if that just happens to be what you clean your bathroom with, that's probably a good could be a good preventative option just to stop the mould forming. But when it comes to really heavy staining and mould, not quite up to the job. Pretty impressed with this one. Actually, despite one of the comments in the other video saying that there is a spray that got rid of mould within about 5 minutes, I've not found anything that is that quick. But after 30 minutes, that was actually pretty impressive. And a lot easier than the hassle of mixing this stuff up. The foam based product seems to keep it in place without necessarily the need for squidging the toilet roll into the corners just to keep the solution against the mould. And that's pretty much it. If you have any questions or anything, feel free to pop it in the comments and I'll do my best to get back to you.